And so, Envy do continue the storyline we started in that pre-match. We start off our Super Week with what I would describe as perhaps not a super performance from either side, but the French do get off to a flying start this time in the form of the N and the V. I'm joined by the Y, the N, the K, and of course the Spun J. They're going to be breaking this one down. Now, I mean, we kind of framed it like, yes, the odds do go in favor of G2, but there's a lot going Envy's way, and they continue to take the first map.
True, but it was a very, very messy game, especially in that first half. You know, EnVyUs winning the pistol, defending against the force buy, and then they lose against full eco from G2.
Yeah, that third round was really interesting. They looked like G2, they had 3 nades, and they did a triple nade and drop, knowing that it was most likely they're going to run a boost play, which is true. They did run the boost. They did so much damage with those nades, and then they were able to cascade later in the round and really take advantage of that. Then you see G2 picking up the first gun round. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, this is looking good. G2, they're hitting all the shots. They're doing all the right plays. But then we saw time and time again the clock getting down very, very low. And I think it was round 11. I think we might even have
You could actually bring that up, yeah.
Yeah, where it's a 2v1 with RPK, just at, I would call it Romeo. He's below the balcony.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, behind the truck. And there's no time left on the clock. And Shox takes the duel. KennyS isn't close enough to actually fight with him. And, yeah.
We have it.
I think he was...
We might have it. But either way, they don't take the duel together. Shox stands and fights instead of planting with only 5 seconds left on the clock. He probably could have just ran past because RPK only has a CZ in this scenario. Then Kenny's able to kill him, but it's after the time they lose the round. And this is the turning point for the half. They then go on to win the half 8-7 right from that. And that was a force buy, and we saw them going aggressive early. Then RPK just played that late round, that 2v1. He didn't have a lot of frags, but that's a very impactful round right there because it turned the half around. Right? It actually gave EnVyUs the chance into the game.
True, and even 2 rounds after that, and G2 just runs out of time. They decide to save their guns. So towards the end of the half, they were losing the grip of it a little bit. But we saw some mistakes from EnVyUs as well. You know, there was a clear, I think it was a 3v3 or even a 4v3 in the favor of EnVyUs in the first half, and 60 is towards long. And a player is running his way, like he can clearly hear the sound cue, and he just misses a sitter, and he dies. They lose control of the site, and they end up losing the round.
Normally, Yanko and I don't go in on people for missing shots, right? We go, oh, you know, he missed a shot, it happens. But when that happens, you can hear the guy running. He didn't even have his gun out, I don't think. I think he had a nade in hand, and Sixer was in a really good position with an AWP. Sure, it's a closer range duel, but you expect him to hit that, preempting the position based off the noise. And when he misses that shot, he's so forward, you either expect him to get one or give the information that the teammates can rotate into position to play the side afterwards. Right. He missed the shot, his teammates weren't in position, and then they lose the 2v2 on site.
All right, so surely, you just to elaborate for the guys at home, when you're in a position like that, the whole idea of it is you catch them because of your position, you get the one, and then you recede, right? You back up, and it's like the way Fallen Orbs, or everyone, you know, Kenny does it as well, just one, back.
Exactly, but it was just a very easy shot that he missed. And, you know, you go over to the second half, and that was the typical nightmare scenario for G2, and it's a great example of how they lose games, and what we touched on in the pregame about them not being able to win close games. They either win or lose by a large margin, and it was because they lose pistol, force buy, lost, first gun round, win, immediately reset, back into the force, you lose that time and time again. They won 2 gun rounds and got immediately reset after that, and that was the game.
Yeah, and this was just towards the end. You got to see even knives were drawn at one point as well. Look at this chaos to end it all. It was actually Happy stabbing one of these opponents.
Happy was the top fragger, but something to note, he didn't even get any entry frags on the T side, right? Which means this is the Happy we know. He likes to play after the action's gone down, but still to get 27 kills, none of them being entries, means he's positioned himself very well after the action's gone down. And towards that drop zone, again, he dominated MBK in this game. I think it was 9 frags for him versus the 2 that MBK was able to get back on Happy.
And also some crucial mid-round frags from that drop zone. You know, in a 3v3 situation, he manages to find his way onto the side kills, wins the duel against Shox, and that frees the bomb site for his teammates. Yes, he dies. He was shot in the back by Body, I believe. That's a 2v2 situation, but he bought enough time for his teammates to get to the site, plant the bomb, and set up for the after plant, and that's all you can ask for.
And what's so crazy is that this puts them now almost 10 maps consecutive wins for Envy so far. Yes, maybe, you know, 1 loss in a best of 3, but in general, almost double digits now of a consecutive map win streak. This is a team that wasn't that long ago. I saw rumors, the rumor mill was starting to crank out roster rumors surrounding these guys.
Yeah, that was a bit messy, wasn't it? Because XMS wasn't playing some matches, and they had Hadji standing in for them, and that was last week, I think, during the Pro League, or maybe some Epicenter qualifier games as well. So that was interesting when that happened, and that's when the rumors that you're talking about were definitely popping off. And I think, you know, the fact that Kio's available, he's a free agent right now. He's actually standing in for them in the WESG qualifier. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see if he performs there. But
They're looking so good.
Exactly. And I'm with you in that sense that, you know, there are other French talents who, you know, they could be looking to upgrade players with, but if they keep winning like this, online anyway, That's the key component right there. Is online is where they're having a lot of their success.
It could have just been a Zipnik situation as well, where you go like, look, dude, there are other people available. Let's see you improve, and maybe they are.
Honestly, I think there was nothing there. I think that was just some wild, speculation out of nowhere. But to be honest, I don't know who you would replace for Keo. The only player I would upgrade over in EnVyUs right now is Sixer. I think they need someone perhaps a bit more consistent with the AWP, because when you look at the rest of the guys on the team, everyone has their moments, right? XMS, Scream, Happy, like RPK obviously recently, so everyone's contributing. It's just like sometimes they feel like they're lacking a bit in the AWP department, not simply in production, but also some of the decisions from Sixer are questionable.
Absolutely. Now, our next map is Inferno. They have played it 3 times. These guys have played Inferno in this year 3 times, and every single time it's gone the way of G2. We saw it in Tours, we've seen it in Malmo, and even an online game over in the ECS online league stages. So, with that said, Envy kind of have just been on a mad roll here. Does it extend to Inferno? Think out loud for me, Chad.
I think the last time, well, one of the last time these guys met at Malmo, right, it was 2 huge T-halves that we saw the teams getting.
I can actually double check
if I remember right.
16-13 score.
Yeah, and they had some very big T-halves in that game, which isn't something you can bank on every time. That's when, I think Malmo as well, when Apex was going off as their entry fragger, that's when he was finding a lot of room, especially on Inferno. Had a couple of games like that throughout the tournament. So seeing that kind of stuff coming in here, and G2 not looking super warmed up. They didn't look like they were hitting their shots. Like, it wasn't anything crazy going on from them. It was just EnVyUs were even giving them heads-up duels just then on their T side. They were just going in dry in certain situations, not using their utility against the side of G2, who just had their, we saw some rounds where they had like a Mag 7 at long. They didn't really have all the guns they needed, and they were just giving them frags. I'm definitely feeling more confident in like the game plan coming out from the guys from EnVyUs, and they're hitting more shots. We're seeing, them looking better as individuals, but I still, for some reason, I don't know, maybe I'm an idiot, I still have faith in G2.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you are a smart ninja, actually. We got double digits. It was 10 and 11 T rounds for either side. It's not bad. 16-13 overall. G2 took it in the end. Well, this is where, Yanko, with the last couple of minutes to spare, I would like to ask you, what's going wrong with G2? Can you solve that mystery for us, the riddle? Because I remember sitting in Kiev and thinking, oh my god, here we go. The G2 hype train started shoveling coal into it, and it's kind of been a bit of a bumpy ride.
I think the problem for them is they still lack structure, and consistency comes from structure, right? Their results are based on individual performance, having good like mid-round calls, having great openings individually, and then just playing the rest of the round fundamentally out. And the problem is, like, when your players are, for example, not hitting their shots, or maybe if you're not getting the correct reads, what else is there? They just keep playing default, and the other team can be just one step ahead of you. They need more, similar to what happened to FaZe, for example, at the major. You could see those flaws really magnified. I
know that, the Pro League is a very long grind. This time we have 7 weeks. Last season, I think we had 10 weeks of play. The thing is with it, you need to look to the finals. You need to look now what's online with the Intel Grand Slam, right? G2 winning DreamHack Malmo, they already have one of those little notches in their belt. If they can make it to the finals here in Venta, and, they can win there, that's another one. And then we've also got IM Oakland just before that. Yeah. So there's still opportunities, especially for teams who already have 1 win, to pick up 3. It could be exciting if we see them play better.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed. They have to get there first, and a win here certainly would be a perfect start for G2 to split the series versus their rivals, their domestic rivals in Envy. And so the French affair does continue, and we'll head over to some French supermodels. They're not French. It is, of course, Sadakist and Henry G.
Merci beaucoup, mon petit chéri.
He is French. What are you talking about? Exactly. He speaks it perfectly.
I'm very romantic in every way, and I do love a good affair. Not actually, that's rude.
And you do smell like cheese as well.
Oh,
so it's perfect. It all works.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, Henry. You've always been so affectionate, and know exactly how to make me feel good about myself.
Well, G2, they're looking to feel better themselves after that pretty underwhelming display on Cobblestone, I have to say. Inferno normally where they win against EnVyUs, and I'm sure they will here, and split the series, but we'll see. It's going to be a T-side start for the boys in blue, and G2 on the CT star here. They've got 4 sets of armor, and this is better. One defuse kit, a couple of flashbangs, that's pretty standard. Surprised you didn't see that on Cobblestone earlier. They actually went for the 5-fan rush mid, which was a little bit interesting.
Not great, if you ask me.
No.
Didn't love it.
If it wins the round, sure, it's a bit funny, and you're like, well, it worked. But if you lose, it's like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Either way, EnVyUs with 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs. No rush here. Most teams do like to rush banana at the very start and challenge those CTs, but this is a very quiet start to the round, and they'll just be holding up in quite a passive stance and not even going for any basic map control just yet. We are going towards the apartment slowly but surely. That's XMS and Happy. Bomb down in second middle. Kenyes, of course, patrolling Boiler and mid. Very good at this angle. We'll see if we can get anything done here.
Kenny gonna wait. Keep in mind tonight, we are using Pros crosshairs. Did you know that?
That is right.
And this
Who's it tonight?
Crims tonight, who we'll see play in the next game. So we had all the rage about switching the crosshairs last game and trying to figure out, you know, who wanted a dot, a T, a traditional crosshair. We decided you guys loved crosshairs so much that we would give you one of the Pros. This is Crims.
At least there's another storyline to add to the broadcast now.
It's true.
Another
People always
layer.
ask Pros what it is. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll bring you that intel later as well, I think. Well, there you go. It's going to be Kenny S. Still holding towards middle.
Will you bring me the Intel Extreme Masters?
I could possibly do that. I'll have to make a few phone calls. See if they can bring it forward.
All right. Well, thank you for doing so. As Kenny tries to go aggressive at top of middle, the wall. He's given away, unfortunately, the other side of A. They'll play a retake. Interesting to play a retake on the A side as well. So many little nooks and crannies to burrow in. Mind you, I'd much rather retake on A than B. So I understand the sentiment. Happy's in a good position. He knows that there's one to the top middle.
Is he?
Was in a prime position to get Shocks, who made a lot of noise as well, but he reads that all too easily. With 5 alive, check. Far away from the site. Surely they'll leave one there to watch rotations, which is what they do. But Shocks continues on. Apex and Kenny and all G2 on the retake to great success.
That's unbelievable how they've managed to make that retake a possibility. It's actually a 5-on-5 situation. The bomb goes down. That retake was something very special indeed. Shoxy delivering the first brutal headshot there towards the apartments. He comes through the boiler room as well. It did look like Happy was in a great position. He was crouched as well. Shoxy, that sort of reaction time is something to behold, I have to say. He gets 3 kills in total. The flashbang was good. The synergy was there. And G2 off to a flying start here. No nonsense, no rushing down middle as a 5-man unit. They play the round effectively, and the retake is perfect. It will be a force buy, though, from EnVyUs after getting the bomb down. This is a weird decision. You'd expect most teams to bring out the AKs in the third, and you can see actually GT prepared for this as well. They've got 4 rifles. They're actually ready for AKs in the third and looking to just have a clean sheet in this round, but little do they know, this could actually work out very nicely for them either way, because PD50s and CZs head armor available, full nades as well. It's going to be EnVyUs looking for the full execution here. You don't want to run into a default and try and just surprise someone. You want to try to get some basic map control like middle or banana and just drop all your smokes, your molotovs, your flashbangs, and go into 5 and hopefully overwhelm the defending CTs.
Some people call him Kenny S. I like to call him Kenny Yes. Because yes, he can hold off the top of middle with an M4 against just pistols, and I think he may do, because it looks like that's where they look to go.
Maybe. 50 seconds yet. They still have all their utility available. 9 flashbangs. We go to second middle, presumably for the smokes, and the flashbangs will come in momentarily. It's up to Kenny S, Body, and Shoxy to defend. Quite a formidable trio. We'll see if they can hold on.
Adamvik, Khalidi, you need to learn to use HLTV.org, because that would tell you who won the first map, and then you wouldn't have to be such a rude person yelling at everyone else's body. Is rude to Sixer, puts him down. Pistol's not held off by Kenny in the end. I was wrong. But he still does contribute. Finds one on RPK. Goes down after to Happy. Interestingly enough, but Body's still in the corner to make sure that, although the bomb has been planted, and yes, that does mean more money for the T's, he'll be able to slip in and find Scream, who's on the stairwell. MBK gets the kill instead. They somehow got it down to just 2 players remaining, though, which I don't think should have happened.
And the bomb planted as well. It's actually not the worst round in the world there for EnVyUs. Probably won't be buying next round, but certainly stabilized for the 4th, and they should be absolutely fine after that. Yeah, 2 kills for Body, 2 for MBK, but Happy with 3. Bomb planted. They could force if they really wanted to. They could, like, really take a gamble and try and bring out the Galils, UMPs, CZs, and try and get into this game right here, right now. I doubt they'll do that. It would be very audacious, but it looks like they will go for the more conservative approach and have a decent gun round into the next one. So a bit of a gamble, just about pays off there for EnVyUs. Don't win the round, but the bomb planted a few kills, keeps the CTs modest. We're going to round number 3. Pretty much a clean sweep for G2 incoming, but we have got quite a slow approach from EnVyUs here with T-steps control and go towards the apartments as well, trying to force a rotation potentially, then unload everything they've got, maybe towards middle or banana.
Kenny goes back out toward the position at quad to play, wingman to Body. Henry, you can be my wingman anytime. But bullshit, I can be yours.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Top Gun.
Yes, I did. Well, I watched that recently. I didn't know the quote. So.
Did you? Oh, I mean, I used to know every line in the movie almost. I had a VHS cassette, if you want to call it that, of it as a kid.
Okay.
And I actually wore it out because I used to watch it and then tell my mom to rewind it so I could watch it again. And I do that about 3 times a day.
You sound like the strangest kid in the world, watching the same film 3 times a day.
Listen, I really liked it, okay? And it kept me busy so that mom could do all the housework. It was perfect.
Yeah, it sounds good. Maybe we can bring that back. I can use that while we're like in Denmark right now. I can bring that with me. And say,
How to Tame the Beast.
Go,
you just go sit in the room, young man, and watch this film.
I think the VHS, though, I need to bring you a player as well, because I think the VHS is part of it.
The rewinding was much of the experience.
Yeah, the theatre of it all, kind of rewinding the tape, getting that kind of fuzzy quality. I think that's part of it. There's the replay of the frags from G2, 3-0, and it will be EnVyUs with a difficult buy. He's got Scream, he's opted for more utility, and going with the Tech 9, one of the few last users of it, it seems. Final hope we have for that weapon. It's coming out.
RPK looking to find his way back inside of the site. Scream's going to be behind him. As the smoke goes down, they'll deploy theirs towards CT. Doesn't matter if they do that because they have to walk by NBK first. They finally trade it back. 6 are doing so. Surprisingly, just the 1 kill. The bomb site wide open. They went for the early rotation despite the passive hold inside of the site. And now it's all about holding off the retake, which they can attempt to do. Kenny, they've had his ace in the last round. He's got work to do in this one, is Kenny. Flash himself back in, follow it with a second out toward Banana Smokes. At pretty much every possible choke point, but a gap, a massive gap toward Happy. He sprays down 3, gets it back to a 1-on-1, 2 HP. He can play the time. Shocks has to go for the defuse. Behind the smoke, he's already running off of it, and that's it. He's got it. Happy. A gap in a smoke they thought was covered. He'll go down to the bomb, but so too does everybody else, and they'll take the round.
A 3-man spray down from the in-game leader of Team EnVyUs. It looked unlikely. He had low HP as well. But the stars aligned for him, and so did the players. Very nice stuff indeed. You can see that gap, certainly a bit of an issue. Focusing towards the player on the well, so he gets dinged in the last encounter there. So he had 100 HP up until then. So very well done. Didn't have to work too hard for it. Hold the corner. Nice controlled crowd spray. Job's good, and it will be 3-1. But the force by coming in from EnVyUs, considering they actually won the previous round, no one's surviving. And it's G2 with the lead in terms of the firepower, especially with the Kenny S AWP coming out. Looking at EnVyUs, 3 AKs, a Mac-10 and a Galil. Scream with some early boiler room control, yeah. Spoke down towards middle, can't do too much of it. Just trying to get information, make sure no CTs are playing aggressively, take away their intel. It's MBK alone towards Banana once again. That's the round they lost. He actually got 2 frags, but that was enough. The retake was pretty successful. That was like, what, 4 versus 1 when Happy got the spray down. Got 3 kills, and then I guess he got the 4th as well, considering that Shockley died with the bomb. Took the money out of his hand at least. And there it is, 3-1 on the scoreboard. We have got smokes and flashbangs there, of course, for EnVyUs, and that's what they'll be aiming to deploy. They forced 2 rotations towards B. Need to have got something to work with, apparently. And it could work out for them. RPK makes it well with the Banana here, joined by Screaming XMS, and the bomb will be making its way to that position as well. So G2 have somehow made a fantastic call there. Especially that with the flashbang over. MBK finds 1, but that's all he'll get.
All he gets is Scream, starts to walk his way inside of the site, a site that does have 2 more to watch it, including that of Apex, who was boosted, falls off, gets XMX, leaves his teammate Shocks in the back of the site, but they find him far too easily. He's not able to contribute to holding off the bomb plant, and therefore Envy, with it down, have 3 AKs to hold off that of a Lackless Kit on G2's side, not one among the 3. And it's go time. It's go time indeed. 1 kill on the entry already to the retake. It's Scream that has to hold it off. Happy again toward Banana, could be the hero, the one who has to win out against 2. 3 kills for Apex in the round. Slow HP, doesn't even matter. Happy's got the same shots, he is killing it.
He is, and he's killing them as well. 2 kills to finish things off, and they seem to be struggling. Taking down the in-game leader of EnVyUs there. It's going to be an EQ now for G2 as EnVyUs presumably tie things up. Another play towards B, and it was actually G2 prepared for that setup as well. They actually rotated 3 over, not really with much to work with. It was kind of lucky that it worked out for them in that sort of manner. The man advantage once again, and it all falls apart. Round number 6, and EnVyUs right back in this one. After winning 2 rounds in a row, they have 2 AKs here, make it 3, and a couple of Mac-10s as well to work with. A couple against the unarmored players, and the 5-man stack from G2 towards the B-bomb site. No one a day. This could be one of the, what did you call it? Golden rounds?
Golden round. Is that what I called it?
Yeah, golden egg round.
I think golden egg round. Golden chocobo round.
Okay, yeah.
God, I need to play that game again. I was halfway done at Alex Near, and you deleted the hard drive I was playing it on.
Yeah.
On my latest playthrough. God damn it, Alex Near. But, yeah, Golden Egg Round, as you called it. I like Golden Chocobo more. I think that's about to change.
We'll find out. Sixer looking to ruin that, as he'll be finding kills here. And the Mac-10 presumably going to cause quite a lot of damage, but maybe not. Getting tagged up, but there's the first kill. And Body with the second. So they've got the call. There's probably going to be an A stack, or B stack, I should say, as EnVyUs make their way back toward day. But hot on their heels is Shoxy. He'll be taking down by Scream, and that should be the round as well. EnVyUs can't really do much, and can't really justify the challenge at this stage. When we go toward day, that's going to be round completed. They'll find a Mac-10, but that's pretty useless into a gun round on the CT side, so I'm sure they'll try and throw themselves in and try and get a kill with it. Get an extra $600 kill reward. And here's the Hunt. Happy with the AK-47 once again. He must have a ton of frags by now. He has been killing it, as you said. He's got 9 kills, 3 deaths. RPK 0 and 5 had a very quiet first map as well, yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, he was very quiet on Cobblestone. That's the 10 for Happy. And so not best day in the office for him.
Well, this is round 7, so there's literally 2 rounds that he's done nothing in that game. Well, he's got an assist, okay, but yeah, he's just not really doing much.
Chilling out.
Chilling. Like a villain. On penicillin.
No wall for KNS. And that's something that G2 have made a prevalent part of their game. The double AWP setup in Inferno was something they really started, and they were so confident in it. I remember the start of them telling me, like, they don't think anyone will be able to shut this down. It was until we got to the playoffs that wasn't the case. Group stages look great. 3-0 in the group stages. That no one could touch them on Inferno. Got to the playoffs. It went horribly wrong. But I still like the idea. I like the spirit of it.
Yeah, the spirit is one thing. That's one way to put it.
But they don't do that anymore. The double AWP very rarely comes out for them.
Well, and it's, to be fair, they've always had an issue of managing economy on French teams. I think the double AWP was hurting them more than it was helping them for not only the lack of firepower they weren't really getting with it, which they were hoping to do, but also just the simple fact that when they did lose it, cost them further down the line, if you will.
Yeah, that's fair. EnVyUs with B control right now is RPK at the top. They still have 4 smokes available, XMS and the Mac-10, and that could work out very nicely. Not a single helmet on the CD side. MBK knows there's a hunt for a frag here. He can feel something about to go horribly wrong. I think it's flashed over any second here, potentially. It will come down to very small times. Here's the footsteps of the flash, and this could be massive, or it could just be 1 kill. He had to do much better than that. So many players on his screen, a little bit awkward with the flashbang, but Shoxy can still recover this. Why does no one ever check the boost spot? It's so heartbreaking to watch, but as we Scream get 1 kill, but Apex keeps the dream alive for now, at least. Bomb will be planted. Can he deny it? I don't think he can. The smoke is too much to handle, but apparently not. Happy gets taken down. 3-on-1 now, and this could be the first in 3 that we've seen G2 post around, but Sixer trying to deny it the best he can. He'll only get 1, and finally G2 get around on the board after going up 3-0.
3-0. Yeah, and CT side as well, so losing 3 straight gun rounds is almost a hard task sometimes on Inferno.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a problem, but they do manage to keep the lead here, 4-3, and they keep a couple of players alive as well. Apex, very good job there from the Coppins area, managing to get a kill through the smoke as well. Didn't deny the bomb, but finding a kill was absolutely fine. Here's the replay, so he gets 1, but if he insta-kills that first player, he probably gets like 2 or 3. But a bit of a whiff there as he ran past. Obviously, it was horrible timing. It's a difficult shot. Not like it was easy, but still could have maybe found a bit more as we had to run a brace here. AK is available for EnVyUs. 1 CZ for Sixer, yet to have the AWP. Same story for Kenny, really, as well. He's been stuck on the rifles here, and he goes into this round with an M4A4. No helmet once more as we go towards A. Bomb will be here. MBK will be control, probably call for his teammate to fall back towards the A bomb site. Confident he has control of the area. He can go towards Carl, the broken wall position. Go for 1 frag, drop back, and he still has a smoke to work with a T-step, so he's fine to hold that position by himself. And it's boosted defense at the A-bomb site.
Chance as well with MBK covering off on Banana that he could have pushed down, but RPK sat to babysit. Shocks with a smoke in front of the arch side. Can't do anything about peeking, especially with that of an MP9. Would have to be a miraculous team flash in.
Yeah.
for him to have any chance of trying to peek and win that exchange. Meanwhile, back over to Ward A. They wrap around the quad side instead. It's Body and Kenny. Should be a pretty straightforward exchange in this point in time, with Kenny still holding off. That opens up an opportunity, though, because Shox with the MP9 goes for a range game. They can wrap back around. It changes the established crossfire, and it puts the bomb through CT. Apex was ready for it, but aim punch, a massive factor as his crosshair fires to the sky. So too does his bullets, and the round opens up because they go B.
Very nice call from MBS here. Open side as well. It's MBK. Thought he had the advantage there, and he sort of did. He had a very strong A defense. It was the bottom banana, but maybe he's not done it just yet. Gets the first kill, but can't find a second. That was a round-winning kill. If he gets that, they probably take it. But now Kenny S left in a horrible spot. 13 HP, no nades, no kit, and is trying to hold on to the AK-47. So MBS very well recovered there. Going for a city spawn, managing to find all the practical quiet on the A site. Quick call towards the B area, and then MBK's at the bottom towards those T-steps, trying to hold them off, but little does he know, they're already planting. He gets one kill, but it's not enough to win the round, and that's a pretty harsh reset as well for the G2 side. They get 400 bucks per player, and they've only got about 1,000 right now, so it won't be enough to buy, but if Kenya saves the AK, maybe they can get CZs out and try and see what they can do here. It will be tied up at 4-4. We'll have a look. AK definitely saved. Do they force into this one? That's the G2 calling card. Something they've been trying to address recently. It still would be a double E, even if it's save here. It won't be the best by next round. So the Mag 7 coming out. Apex is all in. And similar story for MBK. But he only takes himself down about 2k, I think. Yeah, so 2,000 for him before the map got all in. So they might as well call this a force buy. Shox, he gets given the AK. It's Kenny S with a deagle. So relying on his captain to deliver with that rifle.
Okay.
Yeah, not the best start. Down to 10 HP or 19 HP already.
MBK, as a result of it, that has to be a lot more passive over on the quad side. He's actually going to play it off of Kenny, who sits for a crossfire. I've never loved the angle when you play a reverse shot to Ward Apartment, because they can jump into the pit so quickly. And then you're really left scrambling to almost get a place of safety, because you get pinched off, you can't run through the pit as easily, you get wrapped around from it. Quad side, good play from Shox to get assertive and aggressive. Catches off the first kill. It's Sixer to fire back. Doubly so. RPK. He was having a rough old night, isn't he? Second kill makes it happen, but loses a lot of HP against someone who was not even looking at him to start it off. It's Shox and Apex remaining, and Shox already heading for the hills. So too is Apex. Round done. Envy finds 5. And I have to say, considering on the T side, again, Envy seems to have the better of G2 early in the game.
Yeah, they really do. It's a huge clutches from Happy to open things up as well. And that just started the bleeding process for G2. The money just hasn't recovered there. They haven't had a single AWP yet, Matt. Rounds they win, it's with one player alive, then they get reset. And this is looking very grim for them right now. They did force buy into this round. They'll save an AK-47 and a Mag 7, but that's all they'll really get into the next round, and it's Apex who probably gets this kill. Might get another as well. That's not too bad. Maybe there is something to work with in round number 10 after this one. They save 2 AKs now, and G2, we know what the talent potential is within this lineup. So 2 AKs, they can probably force around this. They can drop M4s. That's Apex, and those 2 kills gives him $1,800 extra and an AK-47. They're actually looking pretty good. Just goes to show you that sometimes it's not necessarily worth the hunt, because they've boosted the G2 chances quite significantly now. Shoxy and Apex and AK-47s on Inferno. That's quite a scary prospect. Still no AWP, though, in round number 10. On the CD side of Inferno, Kenny S hasn't actually got his trademark weapon out yet.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous, to be completely honest. Completely and utterly ridiculous for them to have to dig so deep to try and find a way back into it. Hold off for now at B, because they have smokes out, as well as a Molotov that cleared the backside of the sandbags. They'll drop one further. That puts 2 teammates forward and 2 behind. And they're going to go. MBK will do the same. Through the smoke, they go. He'll sit inside of it. If that smoke dissolves and they completely bypass him, he's in a perfect position, but it dissolves. And he's not quite ready for the fact that Happy is still holding the top of Banana, as Happy has done so many times this game.
It was a nice idea by MBK, but it's overwhelmed. There's so many flashbangs and smokes and footsteps around him. He lets 2 run by. Thinks, okay, that might be it. They might be on the other side, but 1 behind him. He gets nothing for it, and the CDs have to save once again. This time, probably having to save all 3 weapons. EnVyUs could go for the hunt, but they have been kept relatively modest here. Even after winning 2 rounds in a row, the bank accounts aren't really swelling out of control. RPK just to note, still on 2 kills. I'll have a look at the GT side as well. KennyS top fragging, surprisingly, even though he hasn't had a single orb as of yet.
That's kind of neat, actually.
Well, there you go. It's going to be working out for him, but still, let's say lost bonus next round. Won't be ideal. CT's probably still can't get out the orb, but he's going to have a couple of kills coming in. Apex seems to be good for 1 or 2 on the exit situation as RPK goes down once again. Same story for Scream, so they do go hunting, but they get nothing for it every single time. Apex can drop an orb, though. I think that will certainly happen. So they're taking a pause. He's got 5,500. He has been farming some cash in the last couple. I think he has to drop the orb here. Let's get Kenny on the board. Let's start making him have some huge impact here with the AWP. 6-4 overall. MB with 3 rounds in a row, and it's just G2 once again. Looking a lot about their depth in terms of this financial situation is constantly chasing. EnVyUs have had some very good calls and some great clutches as well from Happy. They wouldn't be here without those 4-on-1 victories as well. 2-on-1 victories towards the B side. And what's the call? They're going for it. G2 still yet to buy. Like I said, Apex, as you can see, $5,500. And there's the orb. It does come out eventually. They've made the call. MBK's going for it. Okay. Or maybe not. He gives the orb to Kenny. I thought he must have a good spawn or something, but he does give it to the main AWPer, of course, and he'll head towards the A side of the map. Nothing too aggressive here, but Apex looking to get boosted through the smoke event. Just running through it. This is very brave.
Apex shot, followed up with the fact that MBK has also got aggressive to find kills.
That doesn't actually help G2 out whatsoever. They get a trade, but they're on the CD side who are struggling already, and that's just a really weird call from Apex. Why he's gone for that, I don't know. By himself, rushing down Banana, hoping to get some sort of amazing one bullet there, but that was very unlikely. Scream helps himself to the frag, and now so much pressure applied to KennyS, who's heading towards middle right now. He could find his kill in Boiler Room, but in the open for now.
So it shocks inside of B in the rotation after Apex made the blunder, as you pointed out. It's Kenny and Body that are going to play it together on A. And MB are going to walk directly toward that position. Have to be careful on Body's, excuse me, on Kenny's side, because he goes aggressive for the AWP shot, misses it. But he's got to find himself a position that's viable to help his teammate Body, who goes down, and just Kenny inside of A. We know he's good in that spot, can't do it. Finally gets the op, but it's not enough to hold off Envy.
Remember the easy skins days on that map?
Yep.
Against EnVyUs. KennyS.
KennyS inside the site.
That was a good moment.
It's brilliant from KennyS.
That was the first time I ever casted my own team as well. And that was going wrong.
yeah, that's right.
It's just like, well, that's happened.
Yeah,
So
that was probably
that
one
was
of
in
my
that
first
position.
highlight clips too.
Yeah, well, that was relevant.
Yeah, but it was post plant. He was T side.
Yeah, but it was just on that bomb site, you know.
It's true. No, I know. It's just, I always think of that play. I can still remember it because it was a no scope on the third.
Yeah,
and a no scope on the third. What a terrible caster.
Yeah, washed up now.
He is washed up. Holy moly. Not much years. He's over the hump, I would say.
Oh, it's EnVyUs with another round bet. The orb of KennyS doesn't yield any sort of fruit, I'm afraid. He did get 1 kill with it, I believe, but that's all he got. And the money's okay. They can keep buying, but that's the problem. They might just want to take a full eco here and just get double orbs out. Maybe that's the call at this point. Let's get MBK and KennyS on the orb to stop force buying around this saved AK-47 we keep getting. And it should be another EnVyUs round here, but never discount G2 on these sort of rounds. They can definitely cause trouble with the CZs and Deagles. They've got 1 AK to work with as well, and Shoxy runs through the fire, but smoke down. Can't really do too much of it. Makes its way towards logs. That's something at least. Smoke was good. Buys him some space. But tease. Knowing this round is everything, don't want to give up anything here. They gave up some very sloppy rounds to G2 on Cobblestone. Still won the round, or the half, or the map, whatever you want to call it. But I want to make sure they keep everyone alive here to take into round number 13.
People are a little bit confused as to who Easy Skins was. I agree, it's EZ Skins.
EZ Skins, you're right. EZ, PZ.
Don't
Liquid
even
squeeze
stop it. Just why?
It's the catchphrase.
It's a good one. You did good. Keep it up, son. You'll write a children's book one day. Mostly pictures, I hope.
Well, Shoxy's still towards that log position, but I'm not sure what he gets done here. Surely they check it. Body starting to burn alive there a bit, but they're going towards the yard side, and this should be the first kill for Kenny S, apparently. That's a nice shot with the Deagle. Now we're starting to see something for G2 here. They're getting back into this game. 2 frags. It should be the third here as well. Apex with the Deagle, and the aggressive play towards Banana does pay off eventually. Still 4-2 situation with XMS and RPK alive, but RPK not having the best day in the office today. They'll get dropped, and that should be it. It's going to be G2 to recover.
Well, they're trying to. They need to. They need to make this a 7-5 game. They need to keep themselves in the contest, because remember, they swap over. It gets considerably more difficult for most people on the T side. Stranger things have happened. Good shot to close it out. We find ourselves on that 7-5 scoreline. We find Body with an AWP. He'll throw over to Kenneth.
Kenneth S.
A real gem of a human being, Kenneth S.
Double orb set up. I did say it'd be coming out, and it's the old classic. Shoxy and Kenny S giving it a go. It's Kenny who drops the smoke in the middle, crosses over towards Boiler Room. He wants to fight. Not going to be pushing all the way through. This is a guaranteed kill for him, isn't it? You just know he's going to hit those for days. Scream goes down, 5-4. That's all we wanted to see from Kenneth. And it's the first kill. XMS trying to get the refrag, which he does absolutely with that Mac 10.
RPK aggressive. Oh, aggressive, and Kenny, or Kenneth, I should say, not ready for it inside of the site. It's XMS, therefore, that's going to plant the bomb. NBK and Shocks have to retake. It's 1 versus 2. Chance to try and do so, and they know the smoke's been deployed out toward quad side, so he is on the site itself. Therefore, the op gets preset and ready. A flash deters the vision, but they weren't quite far enough out to catch it, because back inside of the library they shall go. It's quiet in the library as we look at the girl with the pretty glasses. And XMS will try and get above the smoke, finds the first shot. Real chance at winning it now because he can back off. He can play the time in the bomb. Shocks with an AWP, and you're dead right. Has picked up a kit, though. He had no kit. But it's going to be a rotation from XMS. If he holds it in the smoke, I think he's got it. I think Shocks has this. This is going to be close, and it's done. Picking up the kit, he wins it. He read a book in the library on how to do that.
Well, there we go. It's going to be G2 now with a couple of rounds in a row. Still money available for EnVyUs, and they keep the CDs very modest indeed, but Kenny S with 9k, they can still bring in that double orb set up for sure. It works out for them, and XMS did a fantastic job there, but unfortunately, finding a kit, like we said, and the smoke as well, managed to get the full defuse in there, and XMS almost played himself after doing such a good job. Falls to the final hurdle, 7-6. Still a very competitive game here in G2. Looking much better now. The orbs come out. Took a little while for them to make their way to the server, but here they are, and winning 3 rounds in a row. Molotov's towards the top of Banana, pushes players like Shoxy back, and he has to get back to the bomb site here. Or is he looking to challenge with his flashbang? I think he is.
A bit late to it. No one was exposed when he did go back around the corner. Scream either way is going to work out top of middle. He's got his teammate, form of XMS, that was coming out the boiler doorway at the same time. Kenny's forced back inside of the A site. Again, more close quarters combat that he has to win out. They won the last 2 rounds. He gets found this time. Perfect wraparound from Arch because they knew he gave up the position as soon as he was spotted inside of the site. Scream holds for rotations. A smoke down. MBK nearly finds him inside of it, but loses track. Still manages to line up against the wall. And he will fall. Like a leaf in autumn.
It's true.
Which is also known as fall.
Yes.
As Happy takes down Shocks.
Wow.
6er to hold it. The wraparound starts well, and the post-plant works better. It's 8-6.
There it is. Double orbs can't do much about that. The A-bomb site falls apart as EnVyUs make their final play towards the pincer maneuver on that bomb site, and it's going to be 6er. And Happy doing a great job with the AKs to finish things off. 6 will bring out the orb here in round number 15. It's the end of the first half here, and G2 are struggling. 3 CZs, a Famous, and the M4 comes out. No kits, very little utility. Apex and nothing. And very similar story for Shoxy and Body as well. No orb, of course, and we'll see the Famous of Kenneth can do much here at all. As we go towards B, very quick here. It's just MBK to defend. Nades all around him, and he'll drop one himself and hopefully call for some backup here. Shoxy coming in very late indeed, but he does come from spawn, and they haven't fully committed just yet, so that flashbang's not going to work out too nicely for him, but there is a gap in the smoke which he will use to his favour, and he gets 1 kill. Bomb down as well. That'll buy some time at least.
Shocks is going to push his way around on 19 HP and go for broke. A hero play, unfortunately. The first taps, yes, they were undetected. They had no idea that he'd worked his way in, but they were off the mark, and 6er was easily able to find it In return is another bomb plant to Envy, and 9-6 looking more and more likely. Happy in this position, I think, is probably something like 9-1.
Yeah.
While he's sitting toward the top of Banana. Good shot, Apex. That denies the bomb plant, though. That makes things very interesting because the HP is not substantial. Oh, and a big miss for Sixer. That could cost them the round in the end as they get much closer. Predictions go out the window that I said, and we get to an 8-7 scoreline.
Anyone's game. It felt like G2 were going to fall apart there as NBS found, 4 or 5 rounds in a row, but they pull it back towards the end. The double orb setup seems to find them some ground to work with and some partial buys towards the end as well. It's 8-7 in favor of NBS, but still could be anyone's map. We'll find out after the break.
Well, things have been interesting between the French sides as Envy has been the class of the field. It's a close game, 8-7, but they started on the T side, so I'll give them potentially the credit they're worth, in my opinion, Hank.
Yeah, I think they made some great calls as well. On the T side, some nice splits, mid-round decisions as well. But really on point is G2 that have been struggling here. As we noticed, it was Kenny S, or Kenneth as you've called him, without the AWP until the 11th round, I believe it was, and that's just not really good enough. And you've got the world's best AWP on your side. Sure, he was top fracking the rifle, I guess not the end of the world, but that's where you want to be. That's how you've practiced to play Inferno, and it's not really working out too well if that's the way it finishes up. But still, they're still well within it. The last few rounds went in their favor, and to be fair, Happy did win some ridiculous clutches in the earlier stage of the first half, so sometimes you can't really do much about that. It will be the second half beginning though, and 4 sets of armor. Body not buying a single thing just yet. I hope that's maybe my game being delayed. No, oh there it is. The armor comes in at the very last second. He realizes. They might rush Banana here, but with no nades, I'd say that's unlikely. Maybe just a default and try and see what they can do with just the Glock here, which has been changed recently. Shoxy does spot one towards Boiler, but can't find the frag just yet.
Kenny, next in line, will try and find the final damage, the killing blow on XMS, but he runs back in the site. He's going to cover it off with Sixer. The double up, I imagine, boost. Please, please.
I like this.
Please
setup.
boost. No, he's going to go actually just be sacrificial at this point. Put a penny on the end of a string, dangle a piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. But it doesn't work.
Penny on a piece of string.
I meant candy. Look, you know, some people just really like the money. They chase it. You just wheel it in.
You'd normally like $5 on a piece of string.
Like fly fishing.
A penny might not work.
Ah, penny for good luck.
Yeah, you're going to be chasing that around?
Yeah, I need all the luck I can get, let's be honest.
4 on 2. We'll see if EnVyUs can find any as they try and hold a forward to B site. It's Sixer, the last line of defense, and that particular bomb site. And it won't work out for him. It looks like it's going to be a very convincing round here for the G2 boys. RPK, armor, USP, and a headshot. Being quiet tonight, but maybe he could turn it all around here.
Gonna try his level best, and RPK, aggressive, no kit. Has to be aggressive, of course, you're right. Of course, how dare I say it, it was well known. Gets to Oranges too. Because he's in the corner, he can actually hold off and defend the position and shots towards CT, but he thinks he has to bait the other to get the kill. Kenny says, thank you very much, I'll take the money. Honey, I'ma run and go shopping.
He wants the Jack Daniels and the money.
It doesn't work because his name's not JDM.
I just wanted to say it. I thought it sounded like quite a satisfying thing to say.
It was good. Give me the Jack Daniels or in the morning. It reminded me of Duke Nukem. That's something Duke Nukem would say.
Well, RPK, nice start, but didn't quite stick the finish there as he got knifed. Could have had a chance to win it, but it was a really difficult crossfire to be fair. You've got City Spawn and New Boxes going at it. You've even got the USP after you fire like 6 bullets. You haven't really got much to work with there. And it will be G2 tying things up. 8-8. Forced by, though, from the CT side. CZs across the board, apart from Scream, just to know. The PT50 variant doesn't really feel the CZ, it seems. Like he's been using the Tech 9 this evening, and now the PT50 doesn't really fancy it too much, and it's understandable. It can be a bit of a cruel mistress. Not for everyone. PT50 definitely has a lot more tapping potential. You can do that with CZ, not as efficiently, though.
Not as efficiently. Scream. PT50. Kenny. AK-47. Didn't find the shots. He was looking for. Lots of damage done. The nade will do it. A detonation, but a run and gun. XMS denies Kenny of potential glory. I'm sure he was expecting in that position, having done so much damage. It would be a simple spray and pray.
To finish there for Apex in the MAC-10. 3 players survive. And EnVyUs with the force buy don't really find much at all. They get a couple of frags, but doesn't win in the round, and now they're going to be limited somewhat as we go into the first gun round next round. This should be the full eco here. RPK, 4 kills at this point. He got 2 depths, so maybe his scoreboard isn't quite updated there. I think something's happened. He must have reconnected or something. He's definitely died more than twice.
It's true, actually. You're right about that. Had to plug in his mouse drivers.
Plug him in.
Yep. Plug in and play.
Here we go.
That's an awesome sticker.
10 kills, 16 deaths.
Do you know, actually obscured from the side, it almost looks like he was giving us the finger on the sticker. Maybe that's just me.
I was reading the stats, the important part. You're looking at the stickers.
Yeah, the important parts.
Yeah.
Where were we without skins?
Nowhere, really.
Before skins. Yeah, nowhere, really. That's right. The things that some people say, I swear. As Apex goes back toward top middle, his teammate will jump up. They'll swap guns across. He's very low on HP and still wants an AK-47 instead, so perhaps he's looking for a one-hit wonder. Like Miley Cyrus. She's got more than 1 hit, okay? Look, she was the only one I could think of.
Rebecca Black. You could have gone with that.
Ooh, it's on Friday, though.
No, but that was the only song I think she did.
She did a few others, but yeah, it was the only hit, so. Well, speaking of hits, Happy's going to try and find one skyward as they jump down in toward the pit. Unfortunately, not really much he's going to be able to do. Goes down immediately. Scream the last alive. He's on the other side of the map. And another round, therefore, for G2, who have not only taken the lead to start off this half, they've now gotten a cushion of a round in between that and tying it up.
Yeah, double digits coming in. Scream. There it is. That's why he likes the PT50. Manages to pluck off the head of Shoxy there. Run off his MAC-10, as we've discussed earlier on Combo. It's not really the kind of weapon you want to take into a first gun round on the CT side. On Inferno, maybe a little bit more, because you can actually hold like garbage or first oranges or something like that and get 1 kill. But generally speaking, you don't, it's very rare to see that come into a first gun round. Even if you save it, they'll throw it away. Maybe get a UMP instead. But looking to get another kill. That's $600 if he does that. He hasn't got any armor to save, so it's not like much is a risk. He'll be buying regardless next round. I'll be very surprised if like him keeps the MAC-10 as they enter the next round. Let's see, though. Maybe I'm wrong. It has happened before.
That you've been wrong?
Yeah.
I can't recall a time that you've ever been wrong, Henry.
Thinking.
So
He's
if I
thinking
can't remember,
there it is. He's on the floor. He's called it. It's out of there. And the orb comes out as well. It won't be brought into the round. Round number 4, and the orb is there for 6 now, but you can see how weak this buy is on a single kit. 3 make it 4 head to our helmets, and 6 with no armor whatsoever. He's got the orb out, but this is a round that could break EnVyUs and bring G2 one step closer to closing out Inferno. Molotovs towards the top of B. That's G2, of course, and we're trying to find the first pick. His body preemptively shoots towards the broken wall position. Flashbang goes over. They will be challenging here, and it's pushing through their own flames, but smoke from the CTs will at least buy them some time here in round number 4.
Buy them time. Happy with a nade, trying to wait and see if anyone will walk into the apartments. MBK spraying it down from the other end of it. Unfortunately, the nade doesn't penetrate the wall. The bullets do. Sixer will go inside of the door, though, aggressively with an AWP. And it's MBK that gets found for all of his spam through the wall, just gives himself up. They've lost Shocks as well. Finally, a response on the CT side from Envy now that the guns are drawn. And drawn level they are in this round. In fact, better off. They're down to just 2 remaining. Body's gone. Apex is going to suffer the same consequence. Scream finding the kill. We go within 1.
First real chance now. Striking back after the little bonus situation there. It's EnVyUs doing a decent job toward the A site, finding the frags required. 10-9, but this is when the real test comes through. Holding off the AKs across the board. To be fair, Apex kept relatively modest. Same story for Shocks as well. They are limited. Once again, no Kenny S orb coming through. It's flashbangs towards Bananas. Apex runs up bravely. Scream was looking to take him down here, but caught off by the flames. Won't be able to push any further. It's MBK to strike first. Takes down Happy. They've got the advantage here. This is a massive round here for the G2 side. Win this could force a double eco, but Scream says no for now at least. Takes Banana control and a frag down with him.
Oh, RPK, MPK. I was about to say NPK. That's a mix-up again. RPK does very well from under the quad, considering he struggled early on. Holds his ground. Body inevitably trades him out, but Sixers there, and that means we're 10-10, knotted up, double digits either side. And I think the momentum is shifted based on who has money now.
Yeah, this could be the eco for G2 here, or a very wonky force buy. MBK and Apex with 5k apiece, but the rest of them, oh, can't really buy. They're going for the force buy in classic G2 style. It's not too bad, actually. It's going to be 3 AKs somehow put together, and then Shoxy and Kenny S down to pistols. So it's actually workable. Should map like Inferno. Get that first pick, which G2 are notoriously good at, and then snowball into something quite special. We'll see what happens here up against a 6 orb. Smokes to be deployed, and they'll make the way towards A at least in terms of some sort of presence. They might not finish up there with the bomb. Still towards B. It's Shocked to spot 1 player towards the apartments, but the city's battling at the top of B.
Battling as Apex. Onto the corner, it's RPK that wants the gap in the smoke lineup. They're both there, but he can't find the second. And the muzzle flash does not reveal fast enough. In fact, turned upon. They knew exactly the corner he was in. It's an easy lineup, but Sixer, with the wall of smokes down that they, therefore G2 have deployed. We've seen that before. Was in prime position. Look at Sixer and Scream go as they wrap back around. G2 has thrown that strategy against NIP before. We've seen that late in games when they're desperate for rounds, and they try and isolate Pit to take it over and then push the site afterward. They just got obliterated in the process of doing so.
Yeah, Sixer with the AWT doing very good stuff there. Managing to get 3 kills and his teammate backing him up as well. It's 11-10, and that was the force buy, remember, from G2 as well. So in terms of the loss bonus, they're at 3rd stage now, and I'm not sure I can sit and find that frag all the time in the world, but only the pistol in hand. To be Sixer to find the kills to close it out. And 3k per play on the GT side as EnVyUs take the lead once again. Looking a little bit bleak for them after losing the pistol, but they're right back in this now. MP9 comes out for XMS, and we'll have a look at the decision from G2. Probably just PD50s here. Maybe a bit of body armor as well, considering they get 4 stages next round, but yet to be seen. As the M4s comes through, what is the play?
Much on the G2 side at all. Envy again. I think they may have just done enough to break away, if you will.
Deagle, P50s, a couple of flashes. Maybe get to the end of apartments, flash out. Hopefully overwhelm one of the players there. To be Shoxy to flash in the middle of the start. He can set himself up for the flashbang as they go apartments. Oh, there's bust up middle with 1 flash. They've got no smokes to work with here. It's a pop flash from Shoxy though, and it comes. Doesn't do much to Sixer, but the frags come in all the same. RPK and the aforementioned sniper doing a good job. Bomb dropped. And this could be 2 maps for EnVyUs against G2 online, where they seem to do most of their best work.
Yeah, but it's true. They do most of their best work, but specifically against this particular opponent. Happy must love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something, a little salt for the wound.
Yeah. G2 still are winning Premier tournaments, and he's not, but...
Okay, look, I'm just saying there's got to be some silver lining, some saving grace.
Definitely.
I don't even know who Grace is. Why are we saving her?
I'm not sure. Oh, another buy here for G2 available. AKs and the AWP for Kenny S. Finally, it comes out once again. It's been very quiet in this map so far. Molotovs towards B to get some map control. Body just runs through the fire there. Oh dear, we didn't see him from his POV, but I did see him running through flames for quite a considerable amount of time. Didn't get tagged up either. That's just a straight-up kill.
Poor lad.
I think he was flashed either. We can get a replay of that. That'd be interesting, but I'm not sure.
As Apex will continue to try and find shots inside of the site. Good counter peek. Takes him down to 44. He's got to be a little more cautious of doing that again, and he gets caught once more. Scream, the man to do the damage.
5-4. Apex low. They look a little bit disjointed here. Kenny S is looking a little bit out of reach of the B-bomb side right now. He can't do too much of it. That's the way for the smoke to go down. In terms of utility, he's got a smoke, so hoping SCT makes a mistake and potentially has the chance to take him down, but why would you now? You're the CTs, you've got the 5-on-4, damage inflicted. You've got no smokes, that is a bit of a problem, but 30 seconds and MPK opening things up on the A side of the map now. Could get a little bit more complicated there. Exchanges coming through left, right, and center. The bomb's down at B. Smoke towards CD spawn. Apex got a clean run at the side in terms of the plan, but he's in a 2-on-1 situation. Up against the Orba 6 there, and Happy, who's been clutching all day long. How does Apex win this? Well, that's a good start. Pushes through the smoke, had to make something happen there, and he managed to get the opening kill and the 1v1 situation.
Apex continues to wrap around as well. He wants to buy time against Happy, who this time doesn't have Banana to play with on his favor. He's on the retake, which means he has to be more aggressive. He has to force the issue. Apex has rotated all the way around. This could be very good, except that Happy's looking that direction. Doesn't matter. Off angle, good find. Low HP, good kill. And G2 desperately needed the round as well.
Well, there you go. It's Apex, the hero there. Pushing for the smoke of CDs1. That was the big play. It's a little bit messy towards Banana. Trades all over the place, but it seemed like EnVyUs still had the advantage considering the HP of Apex, but intelligent stuff towards CD Spawn and then out positioning Happy there in the 2 versus 1. Brings them one step closer to tying things up here. 12-11. And money not great on either side. See EnVyUs there with MP9s and G2 with Galils and CZs, nades towards Banana with Shoxy's past them, and he'll be looking to kill this player at the sandbags, and we're certainly going to get him, but only gets one. M4 picked up by XMS, and this is an absolute barn burner around so far. Kills all over the place, and a 3-on-3 comes in.
BK down by Kenny, close range as well. 2 remaining on the EnVyUs side, and they tied the game at Sixer and XMS, and XMS is just rotating over from B now. I was about to say JPEX. G2 Apex.
Yeah.
Is still over toward B. So the fact that XMS is getting closer to Sixer does leave B side open. The problem is they have to get the bomb. Kenny's got to do so inside of the halls by Boiler. And there's lots of time by which they can exploit this very thinned out defense.
Very thinned out indeed. XMS and Sixer remaining.
Money's low on both sides.
Yes, this is impactful round and could be the one that wins the game.
It could well be. You're right.
EnVyUs get this.
Break,
yeah, double eco situation potentially for G2. Their money's not disastrous. Yeah, I've got 2 players on 2k, but could be the beginning of the end as Sixer gets the kill. Feeling brave towards middle as well, but still a lot of work to do here. G2 with Kenny S towards mid. That's, I thought, was a no-scope for days, but Sixer goes above and beyond for his teammates, recovers the AWP as well, stays alive. 3 in total. And here's the replay of the kills towards the apartment. That's quite nice work from MBK. Brave, to say the least. I was wondering what happened. How did he get a kill and die so quickly? But that's why. And still, that's a pretty decent trade for the T side, as for reasons we mentioned before. But like we said just a second ago, win that round, and that could be the game. EnVyUs 13-11 now, money broken. $1,400 per player. They did have enough on 2 of the players, Shoxy and Apex, for Galil's armor and some nades, or UMPs, or even CZs, and go for it. I think they don't. They allow it to go to 14-11, and they have to try and close out the game from there. Still won't be a decent buy next round. They have 2 players on around the 3.5k mark, which isn't enough, really, for head armor and AKs.
Away we go. Envy winning
an
all-important round, and they are going to force buy. That's peculiar, considering it's a reset of 4 rounds, and there's not going to be much income this time.
Okay,
Bomb plant is essential.
Just to know, it's not a force buy, but it's Apex, one of the few players that had money that dumps everything. He gets the AK out and the head armor. He'll get 1,900 next round, and they really need that extra cash. So if he wins this round off the back of this, fair play. But if he doesn't, and doesn't save the AK, then a lot of trouble into the next round. I'm surprised he brought this out. Like, I don't think this particular scenario, it makes a whole lot of sense to dump that 4k he had. Flashbang towards middle. RPK to defend, who has had a quiet game so far. It'll be 1 flash and they'll explode towards mid.
Explode and go. Hold off for RPK, who's under the quad, but that bait's Happy Happy out. He only manages 1 kill, 1 each, which means Apex on the 8K has actually opened up a possibility of good effect, and Shocks as well up close. If he finds, I was going to say XMS, real chance. Unfortunately, even then, that wouldn't have been enough because his teammate went down at the exact same time. Envy, 14th round. They could, well, double upset against G2. I'm going to call it an upset just based on what we expect from the two teams.
Just a note as well, Apex, this is exactly what I mentioned. No bomb goes down, and he doesn't really get much time with that AK. He's got $2,500. Are they taking an eco now? Why did they not take an eco before it was match point territory? Well, there we go. They could have bought into this round, I think, but went for the partial buy with the upgraded pistols and the AK, but it will be Deagles and CZs now, but it might not matter. Joxy with the 1D to take down Happy, and an opening has been found. The rifle not recovered as of yet. It's a little bit too deep for him, and it's going to be RPK to recover just about. He's had a really rough game here on Inferno, and I think they know what they have to do here. EnVyUs, there's the kill from Sixer, at least buy some time as they make their way towards A. Sixer rotates back towards A again. Can't find a shot for the smoke this time, and the bomb will be planted.
Planted indeed. Apex to do. And he'll make sure that it's covered off, but no, it just barely gets it down before XMS does get in position. He held up, was waiting for his teammates. Goes aggressive, good headshot to find, but 2 players staring down the same angle. It was always going to be impossible. In the meantime, MBK with a great deagle shot in the pit has given a real chance to G2, and in fact, Sixer's already backing out because he doesn't have a kit.
There was another eco there for G2, and EnVyUs have been struggling with that concept all evening. They went for the aggressive play towards top middle, not even really fully committing. It was a Shoxy that ran up there. 1Dig's Happy, they lose the AWP, and RPK, who has been having a really quite difficult performance tonight. He's on 12 kills right now. I'm not sure that's accurate. He had a few more from the scoreboard we saw, but still, like, it's not one of his best performances, and he only gets 1 frag, and the trade comes in. They go towards A. Sixer gets 1 decent kill from the arch, but at that point, the snowball effect had already began, and now that's G2 right back in this one. And EnVyUs, they're feeling the pressure a little bit more. They do save the AWP, but a forced buy into this would be a really difficult call to make. I'm surprised they didn't take a pause here. They won't go all in. They'll wait till next round to have a little bit more to work with. Sixer knows if they have any chance of winning the round, it's off the back of his AWP. And they'll go towards middle. Presumably faces T-steps completely. Taken down. That's pretty much the only call he can make. He had to hope that Kenny was like me going all in towards Banana, catch his teammate out. You have to wake up pretty early in the morning to catch Kenny out, and Sixer, like he pressed snooze, taken down, AWP picked up by Happy. The secondary AWPer, if you will. And
I will, actually. You're right. Yeah, no, I appreciate the invitation. I certainly will.
Good.
Well, either way, it's going to be a shot by Shocks to take out Scream. It's traded back, though, as Scream did find the first one, so XMS backs inside of the site. Real chance to hold off on the approach. XMS is going to give up more than that. Rotates out of the site altogether. Bombs still drop down at the bottom and middle. So G2 are trying not to walk into any traps. But they've lost 1 already. And Happy. His AWP sits inside of apartments, perhaps thinking they're going to want to get closer. This is it's a bit of a gamble. It's not guaranteed by any means that anyone's going to head that direction. In fact, they're not even going to go close to it. Back over toward B. This should be a pretty straightforward round for G2. Should be. Yeah, the rotation off by XMS, that pretty much confirms it.
Yeah, they'll get an easy plan here. 14-13. They'll just be looking to save the AWP here. The CTs, they don't care if the round goes against them. They just want to make sure they have that big green gun into the next round. RPK heads towards middle. XMS, nothing really to lose as well. Got Deagle and Armor. They'll be buying up next round regardless. And down he goes. Kenny S. The first orange boxes. Picks him out through the smoke, and it's going to be RPK. Presumably taken down momentarily. Heels down towards bottom of mid right now. CZ hoping a CT, or T I should say, runs into his crosshair, and happy to save the AWP on the A bomb site. Kill coming in any second now. Does he dare go around the corner? Oh, there he does. It's BMPK to drop him, and there will be 14-13 for sure. Happy in the pit, and we'll be saving the weapon. This was an eco from EnVyUs, just to note as well. Looking for one more round, and just to know, Matt, Body's on 7 kills, 20 deaths, and that's kind of shocking considering the next on his teammates got 15 and 21, so Body almost non-existent here on Inferno. And maybe Happy as well.
Yeah. This puts the money still in a tight position. The game is all to play for. G2 win this, break them back down again on the Envy side. I think they actually get away with it. And I'm going to say get away with it because I don't think that they were in a position where they could have been boasting to win this game. They've been playing from behind pretty much the entire time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well then, the buy comes in from EnVyUs. UMPs, Famouses, M4s. No kits to work with here, certainly no AWP, and we'll go towards B once again. No incendiaries to really hold off the T's this time, as they'll make their way towards the top. You can see the system coming into play almost every single time. The pre-fire's looking good, making sure they check every single crevice of the B bomb site. I'll go towards B. This looks like maybe a minor commitment in the sense that they'll send one player to try and find a frag. A body who's been quiet all game. Those open things up. I would say just get out there. Don't give the trade up, but it's MBK that allows them to get back into the round. A nice shot from Scream from the emo position. Does balance everything up to a 4-on-4.
Kenny with the AWP, pre-scoped already to see if anyone's close at middle. He could walk in and get caught off by RPK. It's a rotation from Sixer that leaves Arch side relatively open, at least for now. And they actually are heading that direction, so that becomes a point of contention. Kenny will clear. Body will get aggressive. Back turn, check inside of the cubby, and it was a creative flash, but unfortunately Sixer, they arrived too soon. He was not ready. And as a result, down he goes. They wrap onto the site. Happy still inside of it, though. 2 kills again for him, who's having a great game. It's RPK that needs to play off the back of it. Bomb dropped in. RPK finds the spray. That should be the game for Envy.
Just as we looked at that round, it's about to fall apart. It's RPK to save the day with the Famous. Sets it up, buys some time as well, and it will be 15-13. Money still available, though. This has got overtime written all over it. G2 win this one. It resets EnVyUs completely. They'll have nothing for the next round. I'd say that's almost very likely at this point. I'd say overtime. It's got my seal of approval, Matt. It's going to be happening. So look out for that. That's considering XMS has the MP9. Famous are happy as well.
Can I have your seal of approval?
No, yeah, you got to earn it.
I thought I had by now. I give up. I don't want it.
So, EnVyUs just hoping they can close it out right here, right now. It's unlikely, but Sixer have been playing very well so far. He's got the AWP. So does Kenny. Has to be the round now for EnVyUs, so we'll go into overtime pretty much.
Might be going there. You might have it. You could have called it correctly. Shocks and Apex finding kills. Molotov into the corner as XMS will back off. Smoke already down. He follows it up with an additional and goes aggressive on the MP9. Does he steal around back? What? XMS? What a way to do it if he certainly has. They back off as well because they found another kill from Happy. Bomb is down in the smoke, and suddenly they scramble, realizing they've given themselves a chance. It's inside of the pit that MBK is trying to find the shot on the AK. Does hit it as well, and Body's pulled it back, but it's Scream who's left alive. And he's got an AK-47 to work with. Knows bombs down, but at this point can't rest on that. What a shot. He has no information as to where the second player is. Now it's called.
He's at the bomb.
They knew MBK was in the pit, so he's going to position himself accordingly.
Guaranteed the bomb. 25 seconds remaining. Got a nice little angle here as well. He has to just check everything, though. He has no idea where MBK comes from. There's some sort of smoke or Molotov deployed towards middle. I think Scream wants to take it. One shot could win the map. Here it comes. He's going to take the challenge and pulls it off as well.
Wow.
Out of nowhere, it's Scream to deliver the goods and find a 2-0 here for EnVyUs. It was looking like that round was done. The overtime is coming in. A 5-on-3 situation. We pointed out XMS with the MP9. He finds the balls, the tenacity to push through the smoke. The flashbang comes through and he gets 2 kills and somehow gives Scream a platform to work with there.
Well, a platform to work with, and Envy, another 2 dominant wins. I won't say dominant, but convincing nonetheless. I think they were the better team throughout the majority of the second map too. But against G2, it's a nemesis for them, G2 side, and Happy again, if there's some salvation in it. So he continues to beat his French counterpart, by which he was left off of the quote-unquote dream team.
Yes, indeed. Well, that's it for this series, and it will be over to another happy man on the desk. It's Alex Machine Richardson.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Yeah, not a super start for the super team in the super week. It's not been great for G2, a 0-2 conceding. That's not how language works. I was doing so well.
Not a super segue either.
Not a super segue. No, you know the guy that made segways actually died on a segway. That's a fun fact for you. It's Fun Fact Tuesday.
Super fact.
Super fact.
One might say.
Wanket and Chad hanging out. Gents, we do see a 2-0 in favour of Envy. The odds and our predictions certainly didn't go that way, Chad. You still had faith in G2, albeit with a slight begrudging look on your face when you said it. Close this time, 16-13.
Why do I build the case for EnVyUs to win
and then say G2?
And then just pick G2?
Because that's usually what happens. Usually, you know, we use logic to make our case, and then the opposite happens. So you've just been playing off of the experience.
Yeah. Let's start with that logic thread and the end of the game. XMS.
Okay.
MP9 jumps through the smoke, grabs 2 kills, basically wins his team the game. Pretty nice to see, but he was down the bottom of the scoreboard for his team, so that's a big impact frags right there.
I've been in that position where Kenny was in that round. It's like you just have a random guy pushing through the smoke and you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
And he was the guy close to quad and you miss that shot and then he kills you and you're like, why has he even done that? Why am I even forced to try and get that shot? Like we just commented on it. Like that must be so tilting for G2.
There were so many tilting moments, you know, for the G2 guys. There was the 1v4 from Happy. He did it again in 1v2, I think it was. You know, on
Same
the T side, same position, same thing. You know, being consistent. He had a massive series actually, two big games back to back, and that's the impact that really mattered in a close game like this. Was those individual performances stepping up and being counted. Even Sixer was playing well. He had a couple of really impactful rounds.
Even Sixer, but
Body not so.
Yeah, that's true. And also, this is one of the rare occasions where Apex has a great game and you don't see
They
G2
lose,
win.
yeah.
Usually, that's where they win because he's the entry fragger of the team going in first. Him having a good game means he's getting the opening kills. That really makes it so much easier for G2 to close things out. And on Cobble, they lost both pistols. Here, they won both pistols. They converted as well in both halves. And still, Envy had the grit to basically come back and to grind out the game.
Yeah, you see that eco S there from Kenny. He didn't get the AWP up until like round number 11 or something. You know, the economy is really the enemy of this G2 side. If they can get it rolling, they can get the AWPs up, they can actually get the utility on their side, then, you know, it's no longer even pegging. You're going to give them the advantage. When you see them on the 4 spies with the UMPs, low utility, they've got the swag 7s, they got all the action, you still consider them to win the rounds because they do that more often than not. But they just need to maybe get in control of the economy a little bit more, and then they can actually have a pretty good series going forward.
Yeah, how about pistol rounds? Is that a discussion worth having, seeing how G2 have been, they've been encountering some intriguing circumstances in their pistols.
So this here is, I just wanted to highlight this. This is a flash that comes in from body on the pistol round that they win. So the camera, you can see the guy in Graveyard and the guy in Pit are completely blind, but the sight guys were flashed as well. So this is just, I just wanted to point this out as something which is really cool to see coming in one flash on the pistol round, then a retake is super effective, allows everybody to, you know, jump into position and actually take some jewels and give them the advantage and win a clean round. That's, you know, a well-practiced flash that's been, I guess, tested by the coaches or the analysts or the players. They found it, and when you use it that perfectly in that kind of scenario, really helps with the retake. Didn't help them win the game though.
No, but I mean, you can still highlight. There's nothing wrong with highlighting some of the things that were done well. For example, this is just how the B control was taken by Envy, win or lose.
Yeah, this is what they did throughout the game, and you really love to see it from EnVyUs having a clear game plan. Whether it's Banana, not every single time. Sometimes it was, you know, mid control, especially on their T side as well. This is very important, right? You want to deny information for a team like G2, and you could also see how G2, they have ways of fighting this, right? They are not, you know, scared to give you Banana control, but they will try to retake it. We saw the pop flash for MBK a couple of times, you know, missed timings a little bit, you know, could have gotten more in some of those rounds, but EnVyUs is a team that seems to have been prepared for that, right? You could see one player getting called out, but then they get the trade and they still get into the bomb site. So I really liked what I saw from EnVyUs on the T side. You could see the structure was there. You could see great use of utility. Even when they were force buying, they were, you know, conceding weaponry for the utility. They would go for the pistols and a lot of nades, so because they know that, like, without nades, you are probably not going to get into the bomb site. And if you can get into the bomb site, well, then you still have a chance to win the round.
Apex having a fantastic game, and yet they do not pick up the win. A bit of a weird one, a blip on the radar for G2, and they go 0-2 down for their game here to start us off for one of our first days of this super week here for the ESL Pro League. Up next, you get to see the Swedes in action. You've had the French, and now we have a Swedish meatball for you to dig your teeth into. It'll be Fnatic and NIP who'll be doing battle on Mirage and Cash after this.